Born in Richmond, Virginia, to a middle-class family on March 2, 1931, Tom Wolfe was interested in literature since he was a child. He went on to get a bachelor's in English at Washington and Lee University and wanted to play baseball for New York Giants, but did not make the team. So he went back to school for a PhD in American Studies at Yale. After college, he was a beat reporter for 10 years for the Springfield Union and the Washington Post. In 1962, he moved to New York City and worked for what would later be called the New York Magazine. In 1964, he transitioned from a beat reporter to a social commentator. Over the course of his career, he coined many new catchphrases such as good old boy, statosphere, the right stuff, radical chic, and others. Always provocative, testing limits and questioning society, he saw the goals of society as the attempt to constantly improve social status. He started writing fiction in 1987 with The Bonfire of the Vanities.
The Nanny Mafia. At this moment, the nannies, the leading nannies, are all gathered down in Central Park, in the playground, just over the stone wall next to Fifth Avenue, at the foot of East 77th Street. Down there, through the pin oak, birch, beech, and sweet gum leaves, in the sun and dappled shadows, on this green and gold, blue bottle fly afternoon, you can see the nannies sitting on the benches around the oval that the playground fence forms. In the middle of the oval are their charges. All these little boys and girls are either in English Birmingham baby carriages, or else they are playing about the swings and the seesaws in Cerruti shorts and jumpers with only the most delightful veranda in Newport, Sundays in North Egremont sort of gaiety. The oval fence has high and rather graceful spikes and stands as a kind of genteel stockade against the customary terrors of New York life. In fact, the playground at the foot of 77th Street is the kind of place all the New Yorkers who feel like hopeless DPs from the genteel style of life can walk by and look at and recharge their gentility cells and walk on. Down there in the sun and dappled shadows, after all, are the nannies, fillers of these little vessels of the Protestant ethic, angels in starched white, gleaming in God's daylight.
Wolfe had an assignment to write a magazine article on a 1963 car show in Los Angeles for Esquire, and was having trouble telling the story it deserved to be told within the limited format of magazine writing. He wrote a letter to his editor using all of his notes and dialogue and scene construction. Esquire then published his letter as it was. The article was called The Candy-Colored Tangerine Flake Streamlined Baby. Along with the hippie movement, the Black Panthers, feminism, Vietnam protests, and psychedelic drugs were everywhere. Nonfiction then grew exponentially as a mainstream, popular genre, where before, the literary techniques of scene development, dialogue, character, and point of view weren't used. In 1973, Wolfe made popular and gave current meaning to the term New Journalism when he published the anthology called The New Journalism. Tom Wolfe is also an easily distinguishable man, known for his trademark white suit.
I don't get tired of the white suit. It's done me so much good, I cannot tell you. When I first came to New York, it had been as a reporter, and it had always been my goals. And I finally got a job in the old New York Herald Tribune. I went to a store and I bought a white suit. Well, that wasn't unusual in Richmond, Virginia, where I grew up. My father used to have white linen suits, even though it was very conservatively cut. And it just annoyed people beyond belief, but they didn't know what to say. And for some reason, getting dressed in the morning for the first time became fun. I don't know what that says about me. I don't have Dr. Freud's nightline. Read the piece, and essentially the piece said, "Isn't he an interesting man? He wears white suits." And so it was a good 10 years that I had the white suits were a substitute for a personality.
Wolfe faced criticism throughout his career, but he also delivered criticism back towards novelists such as John Irving and the two old pals of Bones, Norman Mailer and John Updike.
Tom Wolfe employs various literary techniques. This episode of The Simpsons demonstrates them in action.
It's Tom Wolfe. He uses more exclamation points than any other major American writer.
It's true!
I do near Mo Sislak.
Ah, magnificent Mo. He stands, stoop-shouldered, blinking in the light. Hollow-chested like a dough-faced fall guy who's made a career of taking dives, but has decided to get his manhood out of hock and take a shot at the title, or at least go from the jaw and thwack. Hyperextend the champ's territorius before kissing the mat goodnight.